Here's the truth. It's easier to destroy an organization than to think you're going to change it. What's easier, to destroy a company or to change it? Now you think about that for just a second. What's easier, to change the company substantially or for me to just invent a new company? I'm often asked this question all the time. People call me up and they say, can you come into the company and institute some changes? And in most cases, I'm thinking to myself, no. Why? Because you won't change. You're comfortable with your status quo. Let me give you an example of changing a company versus inventing it. Walmart was invented. Why? Because Sears wouldn't make a change. So the question is this: what would have been easier, to change Sears or to invent Walmart? Another great example. What was easier? What was easier, to invent Federal Express or to change the United States Post Office? Answer: invent Federal Express. You couldn't get the United States Post Office to change. You had to invent Federal Express. What was easier, to invent Southwest Airlines or to change the other airline company, US Air, United, Delta? What's easier? You had to invent these people. What was easier, to invent Nike or to think you were going to change Converse? Answer: invent Nike. What was easier in this case? Modern day version. Watch this. What was easier, to invent Google or to think you were going to change Microsoft? You know, it's like these stories of David versus Goliath. You have these small startup companies, because Nike was a small company when it started and Converse was the behemoth. And what was it like? David versus Goliath. They took the ingenuity of Nike, put it in the sling and slung it and planted it right in the forehead of the big company. Bigness becomes a code for inflexibility at times. Experience becomes a code for inflexibility at times. You must be willing to make changes. You know why? Because if you're not willing to change yourself, change your organization, believe me, there's a startup out there right now that's ready to invent and take you over.